Hello, yeah. Hi, Ravi. Good morning. I think we have an echo from your end, Ravi. Okay. I think all are in. We can get it started. Okay. I want someone of you to share the screen. Ravi, can you share your screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Please go ahead. And from the previous class, if you have any kind of doubts, please let me know. We can clear that first and then get the class for today started. But most probably all the topics that we have covered in the last class are pretty straightforward. Okay, so because we have covered the requirements part first, so almost all the concepts are pretty straightforward. Yeah, so today we'll be looking into sprints. So I'm going straight forward to the classes so that we can move towards the repositories today. Okay, so sprints I think we have almost covered, but just for a double confirmation, let us go ahead and look at the sprints. Please click on sprints option. Yeah, so as I told you, sprints is like a subset of your backlog, and sprints for every 10 days, whatever work we have done, everything will be recorded under the sprints, and then it will be discussed and demoed to the customer at the end of each sprint. Then we'll be going for the next sprint. In case if we have any user stories that are pending that were not completed, because that usually happens when you are working in companies, that if there are some user stories that are not completed in the sprint one, they get carried forwarded to the sprint two. But usually what happens is the user story that is there in the sprint one will be closed with whatever efforts that were spent on that user story. The other user story will be created as this with a sprint name to track it, and then the other effort will be tracked there. Okay, hope most of the things are clear about the sprints. Let us go to the queries. Yeah, please click on the queries option that you are seeing in your left hand side below the sprints. Ravi, can you click on the queries option? Yes. So under the query, yeah, let me quickly give you why we use queries here. So queries, as the name suggests itself, we are going to use queries when we want to get a report out of all the work items that we are using on daily basis. Okay, say for example, if you would like to know the number of user stories that were covered in this sprint, or from a start date to end date, or for a particular team. So based on the different requirements that you're getting from the project team, we are going to create the queries. Okay, but in order for the queries to work, you will have to have the data in. Okay, so let us go ahead and click on new query first, so that we'll be, yeah, we'll be running a blank query here. Okay, so when you click on new query, you see the different field options, right? So those are the filter criteria that will help us to filter out the selection that we are looking for the report. Okay, so first you see the work item type, which is a field. Okay, so if you click on the drop down below, yes, the work item type is a field. So yeah, if you click down, you will have the different types of fields that you can go ahead and look it for. But the basic query will start with work item type, because we'll have to first give what work item type we are looking into in terms of the report. Okay, so right now what I want you is just click on run query. Let us not change any of the fields. Just click on the button which is called as run query above it. Yes. Okay, so right now you see we are not giving any kind of filter criteria. We are just running a blank query which says give all the work items which are present in this particular project with irrespective of the states. Okay, so right now we don't have many work items here. We have only 2 work items, which are the features with both title new epic and new epic, right? So it is giving us a blank results with all of the work items that are present for this particular project. Okay, but this query will be more useful when you have a lot of data, because when we actually start working on it, we will have different projects, different teams under it. So we will have to filter it out based on the teams as well, teams or any other criteria. Okay, so right now what we'll do is that let's change one of the feature state, and then we'll give only the state wise. Okay, so can you click on one of the feature below? Yes, new epic. Yeah, any of the feature. Let's change the state into from new to active. Yeah, save it. Let's go back to the query. Yeah, yeah, new query. Okay, run the query now. Okay, now can you select state is equal to active? Yes, yes. Under the value for the state, yes, there you select active from the drop down only. And please be sure that whatever values you are seeing under the drop down for state, right, that will be for all the work items. It is not only for feature or not only for epic. Okay, so it will be for everything. You will have to make sure which one you're using. Okay, yeah, right now state is equal to active. Let us click on run query, and you will get a result 1, which is based on the selection that we are giving. Okay, so I'll be sending you a link which will give you more information about how to work with the queries. But before I provide you the link, take down this as a homework to search for a link in Azure DevOps to get the information about the queries. So in that queries, you will have a much broader documentation where you can see how you can use the queries, and what is the filter level that is used, and how can you use and or how can you use groupings and all those things. Okay, because right now we don't have a data, we cannot perform much more operations on it, but that document will help you to understand, to create a report even in the complex requirement is there, complex report is there. Okay, so right now let's go ahead and click on save query to save this query. Okay, click on save query option. Yeah, you can give a name of a query like demo, just give the name as demo. And you see, whenever we want to save it, under the folder option, one second, don't click on OK. Under the folder, you see two places to save your query. Okay, one is under my queries, where only you will be having the access for your queries. One is the shared queries. If you save under shared queries, you will be able to share it along with your team members also. Okay, so I want you to save this query under shared queries. Click on shared queries, click on OK. Okay, how can you view this queries under shared queries? Can you please click on the queries to your left hand side? Yes. Okay, and then now you see under my, okay, click on all. This favorites will show you only the queries that you have created. All will show you my queries and shared queries. Okay, so under my queries, you already see there are default queries like assigned to me and followed work items. But under the shared queries, you are also able to see the query that you just created. Okay, so at this view, you also can do one more thing. Can you hover on demo? Can you just hover on demo query? Yeah, you see the 3 dots there. Can you go back to queries? Yes. Yeah, go to all. Yeah, here 3 queries. Yeah, so here also you see an option called as security. Okay, so there are multiple operations with respect to the shared queries also, like run query, edit, rename your query, delete your query, like that. And also if you want to add to team favorites, that means you create a shared queries and you want that shared queries to be added as your team favorite, that also you can do using the option add to team favorites. Then there is one more thing that we always want to focus on is about the security. That means you can also control who can see your shared query and who can access your shared query as well. Can you please click on security option? Okay, so here also you see the same kind of Azure DevOps groups that will allow you to control the access for your queries as well. Okay, so this is similarly to what we have seen already in the last class. Got it? For the permission related to your queries. Can you please cancel this? I hope this is understood. So I'm not going in detail about the permissions. Okay. Yeah, and then okay, in the queries only, what I want you to understand is, yeah, can you go to demo query? Can you please click on demo query? Let us see the other operations quickly, and then we can go to the delivery plans. Okay, so here it is pretty straightforward, but okay, can you click on the editor here? This is the result tab. Editor will give you the option to edit and change the filter criteria. Can you go to the charts here? Yes. So this chart option here, you can see, you can also create a chart based on your queries. Okay. So right now, can you click on new chart? Okay. You can select the name and you can select the group by. So right now, group by, you can give it a state. Okay. So select the field is there. Click the drop down to select the field, which will be state. Yeah. Click on state. Here, whatever group by option you are seeing, those are only default values. Okay, so if you have a question whether we can customize the fields which are there under group by, no, you cannot customize the fields, or you cannot bring any other fields. Like if you want to bring priority or if you want to bring area path here, that is not possible because this is the default fields that are exposed by Azure DevOps team. Okay, and then aggregation, you have count of web items. Yeah, count, or yeah, count will be there because you're using for the state, and then you have value as descending or ascending, and then you are seeing the chart now. Okay, and the chart type you can see to your left hand side, like the pie chart, bar chart, column chart, to your left hand side. If you see, yeah, you see pie chart selected, right? Below that you see bar chart, column chart. Yes. So these are the different type of chart that is also available out of the box. So only these many chart are available. If you're looking for a chart outside of these chart type, these are only available. Yeah, got it, right? Something like this. Yeah, click on OK now. Let's see how the chart will display us. So this will be how your chart will display for the query that you have created. Okay. So let us go to the results tab. And here you have, can you please click on the 3 dots here? Above, yeah, there. You have column options, as we have already seen the column options to add the additional column for your report. You have email query, like if you want to email this one. So click on email query. I just want to show you the view how this query works, because we have not seen this emailing of work items when we were covering the backlogs and the boards as well. So please click on email query option. Yeah, it will be giving you something like that. Okay. So from the Azure DevOps itself, without going to any other mailing tool like your Outlook or any mail tool, you can also send a send the mail from here as well. So you can select the users who will be part of Azure DevOps, and then you can change the subject and note, and then it will send this whole data to that person. Okay. This is about the emailing the work items, sending the work items in email. Yeah, close this. And then click on the three dots. You also see there is an option to export it to Excel. Okay. Yeah. Export to CSV. You can, because this, when we talk about the queries, this feature will be very important, because once you do all the selection or based on what your manager wants or what kind of report that you're looking for, once the report is ready with all the filter criteria, grouping, everything, you will be exporting this particular query with that results and sending across to the teams who requested for this report. Okay, for that export to CSV is also important. When you click on that export to CSV, the results will be exported into your CSV with whatever columns that you have selected for that results to appear. Got it? And copy query URL will copy the URL of this query, so that you can immediately ping this URL to your group to see the particular queries that you have built on. Okay. So this is most of it for the queries. There is one more thing left. Can you please click on the editor here? Yeah, editor. And you see to your right hand side above, there is an option called as query across projects, right? Below column options. Yes. Can you please check that box? And can you run the query once again? Okay, right now we are not able to see any of the records, but in case if you have other projects, right now we have only one project called as DevOps under Azure DevOps organization, right? But going forward, when you're actually working, there will be multiple projects, and you want to you want to get the results from all the projects, then this option will also be useful. Okay, so this is about the queries, and you see the favorite symbol, the star symbol, which is usually used for your favorites, so that whenever you appear to the queries, the favorite queries will be appearing in the first window itself. Okay, and can you please click on the queries? There is one more option called as import. Yeah, you can click there also. Yeah, import work items is there, no? Yeah, this is also very important whenever you want to import a bulk of work items. Like if there is a requirement from your manager saying that they have created some of the work items using Excel, and they want to import that information into the Azure DevOps, you also have an option to import the work items. Okay, so this is also a homework where I want you to import few of the work items using the Excel sheet. Okay, how do you import and what is the format that that has to be followed will be left to you to go ahead and search. Okay, because if I tell you, then you will be pretty straightforward following the same thing, but I want you to do that tomorrow's class. When whoever is sharing, I want to see that import work items to be working for me. Got it? Yeah, you can click on cancel here. This will cover up the queries at a higher level, but most of the operations we have already discussed. So I want you to go ahead and explore all the options that are present in the queries, and let me know if you have any doubts. Okay. Yeah. Now let's go to the delivery plans. Please click on the delivery plans. So delivery plans is like a plan that you will be creating for your project to estimate how you are going to deliver your work. Okay, so it is a pretty straightforward plan. This plan will be mostly used by your project manager in order to track the deliverables that are spread across the teams or across the project. But in order to know the knowledge, this will be like a plan that we can go ahead and quickly create a sample plan and see how does it look like. Okay, can you please click on the new plan button? Okay, you can give the name as DevOps theme plan. And it is also telling you what does new delivery plan look like, right? Or what does it show you? So it is already telling you a delivery plan shows you when work will be delivered across your teams. So it is usually to track your work for your teams. Okay. Yeah, and it is telling you which project you're creating the plan. So below you see project is DevOps, You see team is DevOps team, and you also can select the team backlog. Okay, so can you go to the backlog here? Select backlog. Yeah, select the features because we have only feature, I think. Yeah, and in case if you want to create a delivery plan for another project also, or like if you want to add a team, because last class we have created two teams, right? Like DevOps team and also developers team and Azure DevOps team. So if you want to track both of the teams using a single delivery plan, you can go ahead and click on add team and track the progress as well. Okay, and in case if you have any criteria that you want to add in, like if you want to create a delivery plan only for the critical deliverables, right? That means only for the critical work items where the priority is 1 and 2. Only for that, if you want to create a delivery plan, you can go ahead and add the criteria as priority is equal to 1 or priority is equal to 2. Got it? So now let this be a simple plan. Go ahead and click on create. Okay, now you see you have a team plan, and right now under the features, I think we have only one feature, right? So it is showing you about that feature only. Okay, and you, if you want to customize this plan, you have the settings option here. You can go ahead and click on settings also. Okay, can you please click on the settings? You see what is the overview? Can you go to the teams? What are the teams that you have selected for this plan, and what is the filter criteria? Yeah, this is what we have we have given while we are creating. Okay, and what is the markers, what is the fields, what is the style that you want to add, what is the tacklers. And by the way, in the last class I had asked you to go ahead and explore the styles and also the tackler. So have you all done that, like Ravi, Sampath? Have you created any styling rule? Have you created any tag colors and applied it by creating different work items, also work items with tags?
Yeah, we have seen that. We have tried some different kind of styles. Yeah.
Tags also have you explored?
Yeah, we did tag colors and tags also we explored.
Okay, okay, fine, fine. In case of any doubts, please let me know. Okay. Yeah.
Sure.
Similarly, those kind of settings will apply for the delivery plans as well. Okay. So
Got it.
now go ahead and cancel this. Okay, so this is about the overall view about the delivery plans. Other options are pretty straightforward. Okay, so no, I'm not going in deep about it. So go ahead and explore the delivery plans also. And in case if you have any doubt, please let me know. Now let's go to the repos. So till now, whatever we have seen, it is pretty straightforward with respect to the project management, and you have already understood about what requirement is in Azure DevOps, right? So how the requirements are segregated using the framework, that is what is an epic, what is a feature, what is a user story, and all those things. Now let's go ahead and look into the Azure Repos. So what is this Azure Repos? Azure Repos is a source code management system provided by Azure DevOps, which is used to store your code. Okay, so here whenever we are talking about source code management system, generally we have two types of source code management system. One is your centralized source code management system and the distributed source code management system. So Azure DevOps provide both types of source code management system. Git is where is our distributed source code management system, and the TFVC is the centralized repository system. Okay, but compared to the centralized usage, distributed usage is the more. And right now I think 90% of all the DevOps projects are using Git because of the advantages of it compared to the central version. Okay, so I'll tell you what are the differences between, few high level differences between the two version control. Okay, so why we are calling these tools as the version control tools is because, in a simple word, what I'll tell you is whenever you are writing something, say for example, you are going to write something in a book, right? So you keep on updating your book. Today you write something, tomorrow you write something, but you also want to keep track of what was the latest one and what is the one that you have written old. So in order to manage your changes, the latest changes that you are making for your book, you need a system for it, because whenever you're writing a book, you will put a date for it, or you do some kind of identification so that you know which you have written it old and which you have written it new. But when you come to the software terminologies, when you want to define everything in the system, right? So you want a system which will help you to keep all your codes or all your files or all your folders managed in terms of versions, so that you don't miss any of the histories and you don't miss the track of what is being done in your project with respect to the time as well. Got it? So in order to do that, you will have the files stored in terms of the code. Okay, so the major difference that I feel between the Git and TFSC, we will be looking at both of the items here, but I won't concentrate more on the centralized one because we are not using that much. I'll be going through the Git itself. So we will be looking at the Git version control itself, and we will be doing the operations in Git itself. Okay, so one major difference is that whenever you're using the centralized version control, you will have only one server path to store your code. Okay, that means, say for example, I open a text file and I write something in that text file. Okay, so this is a test I will write and I'll keep it. And how do you know where this file is actually stored, right? Because wherever you are making a change or wherever you are writing something, you need to make sure that you are saving that somewhere. In centralized repository model, that file will be saved internally in a server. Okay, in case if something is happening to that server, everything will be lost. And the access, say for example, you're also working on the same repository, your colleague is also working on the same repository and making the changes to the same file or same folder, same solution, right? So in that case, what happens is, once you write and commit your changes, the server will first take the changes that you have made. It will reflect your colleagues changes later. That means there will be a to and fro changes that are happening to your centralized version. Okay, so it is in a central and you are not having any copy of that particular code anywhere else other than your server. Okay, so the operations will be little bit slower compared to the distributed version. So in distributed version, what is that happens is that whenever you are creating a repository, you will be having the local copy within yourself itself. Okay, so you will have the entire source code copy within your laptop, so that if something goes wrong with the other copy, like your colleague's copy also, no need to worry, you will have a local copy inside your local machine also. Okay, and if you don't want all the changes to be committed to the central repository, that means to the Git repo, you can keep every changes in your local whenever it is required. That means whenever there is a release happening, only that time you can push your changes to the Git so that it will take effect, and also you will have the operations little bit faster, because each and every individual will have their own local and remote repositories, branches working on it. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at what is there in the page. So right now you see there is one page when you click on the files, and it is asking you several options to start working on it, right? So the first one, it is asking you if you're going to use this Git in your local, how do you do it? Okay, that means in your computer, if you want to use, there is an option called as HTTPS and SSH both. Okay, but mostly we will be using HTTPS also. You can use SSH also. Any option is fine, but HTTPS is most easier one. Okay, so you will have to copy this link that is given, that is https://rp922, right, until DevOps, and you will be using a tool which is called as Git, that is the version control tool that we will be downloading in a while later, and then give the command called as git space clone space this URL, so that whatever contents that you have for this repository, that will be downloaded to your local machine. But for now, as this is a empty repo, we don't have any files yet. Okay, so for any repository to start working, you will have to first initialize that repository. Okay, and the cloning option, you see, we have the HTTPS link, and also we have an option to clone in VS Code. Okay, that means you already have an IDE, that is your VS Code or Visual Studio Code, Visual Studio 2019. So these are the different tools that will help you to code, like Java or Eclipse. So there are different tools which will help you to write the code in different languages. Say for example, if you're using C#, you will be using the tools called as Visual Studio with the latest version like 2019 or 2020, 2017. And if you're using any kind of IDE, you will be using Visual Studio Code, which will help you to work on your code more efficiently. Okay, so that is the reason we will be using these tools. And if you're working with Java, you will be using Eclipse, and if you're working with like any PowerShell, you will be using Windows PowerShell option in the Windows. So likewise, okay, so if you want to clone in those tools also, you will have an option to clone under the option clone in VS Code, like that. Okay, so it automatically opens the tool and it clones. That clone is equal to copy. Okay, so it copies the contents from your repository to your local machine. That is why this method is used. So second one, what is it telling you? Push an existing repository from command line. That means if you already have the code in your local, you want to push that code to the Azure DevOps, that is online, right? So if you want to push it here, what are the commands that are being used? So there are two commands. First, you will have to add the origin, then you will have to push it. Okay, so git remote add origin, the link that is already there, and then git push -u origin all, that will push it. We'll be seeing these operations in practical. Okay, and then if you want to import a repository, there is an import option where you already have a repository and you want to bring those contents of that repository into here. You can use the import option as well. Or simply, if you want to initialize here only, you can use the option called as initialize. Okay, so right now we are going to initialize here itself. So I want you to click on the option initialize. Yeah, go ahead and click on option initialize. Below, yes, there only. Yeah, click on that button. So now you see the view of this repos, files under repos has been changed, right? So now whatever you see is the repository. The repository name is DevOps. Under the repository, you are already seeing a file called as readme.md, right? So can you please click on that file, readme.md? Yeah, click on that. You can see this is a default file that comes in whenever you are initializing a repository. Why this file is coming? Because whenever you want to initialize a repository, you need to have a default file to be placed inside the repository. That's why we will be having readme.md file. Okay, so this is the markdown file kind of a thing. Okay, so now if you want to create a new repository, you have the option. So can you go above and click on the DevOps option with that red color symbol that you see? Yes. So here you see the different options: new repository, import repository, manage repository. Okay, so now let's create a new repository. Yeah, click on OK. And the repository type, you see there are two types. Okay, one is Git and one is TFVC. Can you click on that drop down under the repository type? Yeah, you see there are two types. Okay, but TFVC will not be focusing more. So TFVC related operations, I will be giving you guys the homework so that you go ahead and explore about the TFVC repository as well. Okay, in this class, we'll be covering about the Git itself. So let's keep the repository type as Git, and you can enter the repository name. You can give demo or anything. Okay, click on create. So now you see you have one more setup build we'll be seeing whenever we are looking at the pipelines only. Okay, right now let us not go to that setup build. Okay, right now you have this demo, and you have created new repository demo, and inside that also you are seeing the readme.md file. Okay, if you go a little bit above, you see something called as main, right? Yes. So if you click there, this is the branch. Okay, so whenever you create a repository, by default or default branch will be created, which is called as a main. So what is this branch? Whenever you are working with this Git tool, there is a terminology called as branch, which will help you to do your coding and also create different branches to maintain your code for the versioning itself. Okay, so think that branch is like a branch of your tree where you start working on your branch. Okay, why we are using branches in Git is because whenever we are working on a code, it is not that a single person will be working, right? It will be a huge team that will be working on a solution, means on a repository. So in order to differentiate each and everyone's work, we are going to create a separate branch, and we are going to use that branch for our central code base. Okay, so hope the branch term is clear. What we can do is that right now we can go ahead and add any of the folder and file, and then see how we are going to work with it. Yeah, in order to add the folder, you will have to click on the three dots here. After the demo, you see, yeah, there also you can click on folder. You can add it as demo. Whenever you are adding a folder, make sure you're adding the file also, because without the file you cannot create the empty folder. Okay, so file name, give test.txt, test.txt. We are using the text extension. Yeah, create and add the contents here. Just click demo testing. Just put the contents as demo testing. Okay, and whenever you want to make the changes, it is usually called as the commit. Okay, so every change that you're making will be each commit. So click on commit. Okay, and in the comment you can put anything, but when the developers are working on this, they'll put the relevant comment on it. Okay, and you see we are committing on the branch main. Okay, yeah, and then if you have any work items to link on, you can also click on work items to link. You can select the work items also. Okay, yeah, click on any of the work item. So what does this mean? Why there is a relationship between the work item and the commit that we are making is because, so whenever you start working on it, the first thing that you want is a requirement, right? So now the requirement is new epic. So instead of the requirement, they'll give you, you will have to write, you will have to create a test.txt under the repository demo. Say for example, this is the requirement. Okay, so for that requirement to complete, you are doing this task, right? You came here, you created the repository, you added the test.txt. So you're doing some work here with respect to the work item that was assigned to you. So that assigned work item will be your new epic. Got it, right? I hope the relationship between the work item and the actual work that you're doing with respect to the code is clear. Okay, that is how you will be linking the requirement. Then click on commit. Yeah, please click on the commit below that. Yeah. So now you see, it is giving you, for every commit that you're doing, you will get a unique ID. Okay, so if you go to the history, can you go to the history here? After the contents, you see the history tab, no? Below. means above the committed message you are seeing, right? Yeah, there above that history button, small one. Yeah. No, you are under the commits now. You also see your history option. Can you go to the files again? To your left hand side, can you go to the files option? Left hand side files under the repos. The main tile, yeah, there. Can you go to the files? Yes. So here you see history, yes. So history will also show you, the different commits that you're doing, okay? So irrespective of what changes that you're making to this repository, every change is a commit here, and that commit will be shown under the history with the username, with the unique ID, and with the date and time that the change has been done. Okay, and then now what we are going to do is that, okay, we are under DevOps now, right? So I want you to go to the demo. I think you changed the repository. Yeah, click there, correct, click there and select the demo. Go to the history here, you will see there is two more commits, okay, because you added the test also. Got it? So this is how you can go ahead and start using your repository. But for now, what we are doing is we have created the repository, we have created some of the folders and files, but usually whenever the developers are doing, they'll be working with the solution which will be having, say, hundreds of files or thousands of files also. Okay, so let us see how to create the branches also. So can you go to the branch called as main, click on there, okay, and click on plus new branch. Okay, whenever you're creating a branch, it will be asking you based on which branch I need to create a branch. Okay, so you will have to just give the name as demo, and demo is a branch that will be based on main. Okay, click on create. That is not required for now. Click on create. So now you see you are inside the branch called as demo, and you are also seeing all the contents that were there in the main branch, correct? So if you switch back to main branch, can you switch back to main? No, that is the repositories. You need to go to the, yes, that is the branches. Now you go to the main, you see the same contents, okay? So this is how we go ahead and work whenever we are using the source control management system. That means solution will be only one, okay, but we will be creating different branches where each of the different branch will be having the same solution copied, but you will be working on one module differently. Okay, say for example, whenever you start working on it, now you see only one demo folder created, but you will create one feature from your name and you will start working on it, and then you will make multiple changes. Like say for example, once you clone this, you will be adding say 10 folders or 20 files to it, start working on it, and then again commit back to that repository, and then we'll be seeing how we can do the pull request as well. Okay, so till now I think it is clear how to create a repository, how to create the branches, and how to add the contents to the branches also. Okay, when we are at the repository itself, let me tell you the strategy that will be followed in each and every DevOps organization. That means in every DevOps group, whenever you are dealing with the source control management, there will be a strategy that we need to follow in order to make this source control management system easier to use and also easier to manage as well. Okay, so let me explain you about the Git flow strategy. Okay, so for that, I also want you to open the Google and type in the strategy name called as Git flow strategy. Yeah, Git flows, yeah, space strategy. It will be a branching strategy actually. Yeah, Git flow strategy. Okay, so you can click on the first link itself. Yeah, Git flow workflow. Okay, so this is the Git workflow, you can see what is this Git workflow stands for and what is the strategy that is being followed. Can you just scroll down? There is a pictorial representation also. Scroll down. See, this is how it works, but scroll down. Yeah, scroll down. There's one more broader picture that I'm looking for. Yeah, feature branches, fine. Scroll down. Release branches is also fine. Scroll down. At the end, you see some of the statements which will help you to understand. Hotfix is also fine. Scroll down. Okay, yeah. See, the overall flow of Git flow is, okay. So this is the main thing that will be happening in this flow, okay. In this flow, that is in this strategy. So what happens is, whenever you start working on a repository, the newly created repository, the first branch that will be created is the main branch, right? So from the main branch, we will be creating a similar branch, which is called as a develop branch. So this develop branch will be used by the developers, and the main branch is kept untouched, okay, because we will also be doing the prod deployments, right? So you don't want your code to be disturbed by anyone from the main branch. So the first step will be, you will be creating a develop branch from the main branch, and you will also be creating a release branch from the develop branch, okay. And from the develop, you will be sharing this develop branch to all your developers. Say for example, you have 10 developers, you will tell them, take the develop branch and create your own branch with a name called as feature, okay. So you will be creating a feature branch. Say for example, you are going to create a web page um, for purchase, okay. So you will be creating a branch called as feature hyphen purchase web page, okay. And there's one more person who is working on the orders. He will be creating a branch called as feature hyphen order, okay. So this is how you create different branch based on the work that is assigned to you if you are a developer, okay. And then they'll create their own branches, they'll start working on it, because each and everyone will have different work to do, different files or different solutions to work upon. They'll be creating their own branches and working on it. Then when the feature is complete, that means when you have completed your task, that means the feature is ready with all the changes related to your work, you will be merging that feature into the develop branch, okay. So we will also see how this merging will also happen little while later. And then when the release branch is done, it will be merged to the develop and main, okay. So feature, it is the individual branch for the developers. Release, what will happen is, for release branch, all your features will be merged. Say feature 1, feature 2, feature 3, okay. Like feature 1 will have test 1 file, feature 2 will have test 2, feature 3 will have test 3. So all these 3 files will be merged into a branch called as release. So now the release branch will have test 1, test 2, test 3 branch, okay. So that means your release is ready, and once the release is ready, you will be merging this release again to develop and main, okay. So why we are doing it twice for develop and main? Because main is kept untouched, right? So you want all the latest changes to be there, as in how develop is there, same identically we'll have the main branch also, okay. So we'll copy, means we'll merge release branch to both develop and main. Then in case, so usually whenever you're working in production or working for a QA, working for a development, if there is any issue that is detected during the prod moment, okay, that time you will be creating a hotfix branch. But this one will be very new to you, hotfix branch. For now, what you think is that hotfix is also a name of a branch which will be created only when there is a error during the production moment. That means whenever you finish your product development, you will be moving this product into live, right? So that time when you move into live, if you encounter any error, immediately what they will do, they will be creating a separate branch called as hotfix, and then they will be fixing the issue that you occurred during the live, and they will again push the changes back to the production environment, and the site will be working fine, okay. So for any bugs, we will be creating the hotfix branch. Then once the hotfix is complete, it will be again merged into development main. Okay, I think hope the overall Git flow is pretty clear now, but once we start working on it, it will be much more clear. Okay, now let's go back to demo. So here right now we have main, and there's one more branch that we created it as demo, right? So can we go to the demo branch? So let's consider demo as only the develop branch. Okay, can we go to the demo branch? Yes, demo. Now let's add a new file inside here only. Can you click on the three dots? Yeah, just type in as a only file. Yeah, so you give test2.txt. Use all small letters actually. Okay, that's the better practice because. Okay, click on create and also add in test2 only text contents. Okay, click on commit. Okay, let it be demo branch. Click on commit again. Below commit. Okay, now you see there is test2 in your demo branch, but you don't have this test2 file under main branch, right? So let us go to the main branch once just to confirm. Go to the main branch. You don't see that file here, right? So whenever you want to bring the changes that is there in your demo branch into the main branch, how do you do that, right? So that's where you get this merge thing, and that merging can be done using the pull request. Okay, so can you go to the option called as pull requests here to your left? Yeah, create a pull request, and you see whenever you create a pull request, you will see two drop downs here for the branches. The first one will be the source branch, into the main branch will be your destination branch. Okay, so right now what we are doing is we are merging the changes from the demo branch into the main branch. So demo is our source branch, main is our destination branch. Okay, and the overview, it is already telling you that you have one file that is called as test2 that has been added in the demo, which is not present in main, and that file we are going to merge it into main. Okay, now the title you can give in, description you can give in, but usually whenever you start working on it, there will be more meaningful title and more meaningful description based on the features that they are developing for that product. Okay, and when you come down, you see an option called as reviewers, right? So what is this reviewers? That means whenever you are merging the contents from one branch to another branch, there will be a lead who will review your changes. Okay, because whatever you are doing, it cannot be just merged into the destination branch like that. There will be a reviewer. Can you please click on that option, search users and groups under the reviewers? Yeah, can you add your name only? Yes. Okay, so you are the reviewer now, and in case if you have any of the work items that is with respect to this development, you will be adding that also. Yeah, click on the new epic only. Yes, scroll down, and if you have any tags to given, because when we are working in companies, we'll have, if this requirement is for a development environment or a QA environment or prod environment, based on that your tags will be there, or tags can also define differently. Like if it is a team, you will add the team's tag also. Okay, right now let's keep it like that only, or you can also type in dev. Give the tag as dev. Just type in dev under the tags. Yeah, that's one. That's one. Yeah. Now can you click on create? Or go back. Yeah. Yeah. Select your name. Okay. And below tags, click on dev and hit enter. Select that. Yes. Select that. Okay. Yeah. Now you click create. Okay. So now you see this overview where it is telling you there are no merge conflicts, and what is merge conflict we'll be discussing in a while. And then you see description is there, and you see the comment section also, and it will also tell you who has created the pull request as well. Okay, to your right hand side you see the reviewers, Under the reviewers, there will be two options. One is the required one is the optional one. Okay, so as you are only the requester. Whenever you are adding yourself as a reviewer, it will be taking you as the optional one. Okay, because usually whenever you are doing the changes, it will be someone others who will be reviewing it, right? So they will become the required reviewers and you will become the optional reviewer. But if you want to add your name as a required reviewer, you can also add that. So can you see that add button there? Yeah, you can click, you can add the required reviewer. Yeah, required reviewer. You can assign the people also. Okay, so as you have already added your name, it is not add your name. No, add your name itself. Let us not add the group. Okay, yeah, click that. It's not taking your name, is it? Because you are already the optional reviewer. You can delete the optional reviewer. Yeah, delete, click on the three dots there, remove, or you can also make required also. Yeah, now you add it. Okay, see, when you add it, you get an option to approve, right? Before you did not see that option. Now you're seeing a button above reviewers, which is called as approve. Yes, now click on approve. Now you see that it is also showing you that you have already approved this request and it is asking you to complete this request. Got it, right? So, and in the same way, you will see this is the overview, which will tell you the different operations that is being happening. You can click on files. Please click on files option after the overview. Yes, this will show you the different files that you have added. Okay, and then can you click on the updates? Okay, and what are the commits that are going into this merge? Can you click on the commits? If there are one or more commits, it will also show you the different commits that is being merged. Got it? So now go ahead and click on complete. Whenever you are completing, you are seeing there is a merge type that is asking you to pick. Okay, so can you click on the drop down? Yeah, there are 4 types of merge, and it will also showing you what is the difference between all these 4 merge types. Okay, for now, most of the organizations will be using squash commit. What is the squash commit? It will tell you the linear, it will give you the type wherein linear history with only a single commit on the target. So what does that means? Means whenever you are doing, say for example, right now we are merging from demo to main, right? So demo might have hundreds of commits. Okay, right now we have only a single commit where we have added test2.txt. But when you're working, you will be having multiple commits, and I don't want all the multiple commits also to be appearing under the history tab with all the history. Got it? I want only a single entry that has to be shown for my history, saying that this change I have taken from demo, because there will be multiple branches that will be merging into main, right? So I don't want to get confused, or I don't want all the linear history that is coming out of the branches into the main branch. I want to keep my branch clean. That is the reason I'll be going with squash commit. Okay. As a homework, I also want you to go ahead and check the differences between merge, no fast forward, squash commit, rebase and fast forward, semi-linear merge as well. Got it? So for this, what you will have to do is that create multiple branches, make multiple changes, like keep on adding some folders, files, keep on adding some contents, and see how each of these merges will happen and see the history for it. Okay, so if you want to see the differences between all these merge type, I will tell you, go ahead and see the history and see the differences between the merge types. Okay, right now let's keep it a squash commit. And once you select the squash commit, you see the below you have different options. Yeah, click on that squash commit. Yeah, you see, you can also understand from the diagram also. Okay, because we are new to this. If you see the diagram, I don't think it will be more clear, but when you start working on it, you will understand from the diagram also. Okay, and post completion options, you can see whichever work items that you have added here, that you have linked here, Do you want to complete that work items also after merging? Let that be checked. And also, if you want to delete the demo branch after merging, don't check that one, uncheck it, so that we can see the differences. No, yeah. Now, customize merge commit message. Right now it is not required, but in case if you want to add a customized message, that time you can enable that. Okay, complete merge. Okay, so now it is okay. Is it complete? Why it is showing you not complete? Completed? It is completed. It is completed. After completed, you will have an option to delete the source branch also, but right now we don't want to do it. Okay, go to the files option to your left hand side. Yes. Now you see main branch. You see there is a new file that gets added, right? No, you are in the right repository only. So yeah, there you see the test2 file, test2.txt under main. Yes, you see that file, right? It is also giving you last change was now. So this file was not there before under the main branch. After the merge, this test2.txt has been pushed into this main branch as well. Got the difference, right? Yeah, so this is how your merge will actually work between the branches. Okay, so I think we are good for today's class, where we have covered about creating the repository, initializing it, and creating multiple branches. And also we have seen how the git flow strategy will work, and also how to create the pull requests along with the tags as well. Okay, so tomorrow I think most of it is covered, but tomorrow we will be downloading the git for Windows, and then we will be seeing how to perform the git operations and few git commands that we will be using regularly also. Okay, and apart from that, we will also see about the commits, pushes, and the branches along with the branch policies as well. So I think 50% of the repos concept is covered, 50% is left, which we'll be seeing it in the tomorrow's class. Okay, hope whatever operations that we have done with respect to the source code management system, that is the git, is understood. And I want you to go ahead and explore the merge types and also the other homework whatever I've given. So please go through it. Once you start practicing only, you will get the concepts clearly. Okay, so if you practice only, you will have the doubts and you will ask me, so that I can also answer you whatever doubts you have. Got it? So we are good for today's class. We'll continue tomorrow. Okay, in case of any doubts, let me know. We can go through it. You can stop the screen share, Teja. Yeah, we are good.
Yeah.